2, Unit 5 to 8. Question number 1 is a comprehension. Answer the following questions. There are 8 questions. Question number 1 is, what do the daffodils represent in the poem? Number 2, how has the poet highlighted the impact of the poem by using the figurative language? Number 3, what was the Qaid's concept of our nation? Number 4, how can we become a strong nation? Number 5, what does love of our country demand from us? Number 6, how does the interior of the masjid look? Number 7, why was a separate royal room attached to the masjid? Number 8, why does the horse impatiently await the next move of his master? Dear students, answers to these questions have been given to you in the previous lessons. Okay, let's move on. Part 2, paraphrase the following lines. The lines are, whose woods these are, I think I know. His house in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Okay, now we have to paraphrase these lines. These lines have been taken from the poem Stopping by Wood on a Snowy Evening. And in these lines, the speaker thinks, who owns the woods that he is passing through? However, the owner's home is far away in the village, and thus he is physically incapable of seeing the speaker pause to watch the snowfall in the forest. Okay, is it clear? Now come to the vocabulary. Part A, choose the correct options. Okay, number 1 is, branches of the trees were covered with blanket of snow. In this sentence, we find an example of dash. The options are A. Alliteration, B. Personification, C. Simile, and D. Metaphor. Okay, and a blanket of snow is an example of metaphor. Okay, number 2. Keep up your morale. Morale means wealth, fortitude, section, voice, and the answer is B. Fortitude. Number 3. The floors are covered with carpets. The underlined verse is an antonym of dash. A. Spread, B. Exposed, C. Stretched, D. Enclosed. And the correct answer is B. Exposed. Number 4. The little birds are piping yet. The underlined word is a synonym of dash. Twittering, crying, weeping, yelling. And the correct answer is A. Twittering. Okay, now come to the grammar. Part A, choose the correct options. Number 1, the police dispersed the crowd. The underlined word is A or N. Countable noun, material noun, collective noun, or uncountable noun. And the crowd is C. Collective noun. Number 2, the dog sat dash his master. Option A, beside, B, along, C, across, D, over. And the correct answer is A, beside. Okay, now next one. Number 3, wait dash I return. Options are before, unless, if, till. And the correct answer is D, till. Wait till I return. Okay. Number 4, I heard a noise dash from the room. Options are A, came, B, coming, C, come, D, will come. And the correct option is B, coming. I heard a noise coming from the room. Okay. Number 5, he spoke very loud. The underlined word is an adverb of dash. Options are A, manner, B, frequency, C, degree, and D, time. And very loud is an adverb of manner. Option A is the correct answer. Number 6, we watched him go. The underlined word is a or an. Options are past participle, gerund, present participle, and infinitive. And go is an infinitive. Okay, correct answer is D, infinitive. Number 7, he is fond of cooking. The underlined word is a or an, gerund, present participle, infinitive, or past participle. And the correct option is A, gerund. Okay. Next is, if you had studied hard, you dash succeeded. The options are would, will have, and D, would have. The correct answer is would have. If you had studied hard, you would have succeeded. Okay? The next one, the shoe is pressing on my toe. The underlined phrase is a or an. Options are prepositional phrase, noun phrase, adjective phrase, or adverb phrase. And on my toe is an adverb phrase. Okay, because it is modifying the verb pressing. And the last one, which of the following is an appropriate sentence? Four options are given here. A, we are tired usually by the end of the day. B, we are tired by usually the end of the day. C, we are usually tired by the end of the day. And D is, we are tired by the end of the day usually. And the most appropriate and correct answer is C, we are usually tired by the end of the day. Okay, that was the end of unit review 2, unit 5 to 8. Now come to the next unit, unit 9, all is not lost. Students, we will do the translation of first 5 paragraphs of this unit. All is not lost, सब कुछ ज़ाया नहीं होता. Paragraph 1. It was the beginning of my profession as a nurse. एक नर्स की हैसियत से ये मेरे पेशे का आगाज था. I worked in the intensive care unit ICU of the neurology ward. मैं आसाबी इलाज के एक इंतहाई निगहदाश्त के वार्ड में काम करती थी. इंटेंसिव केयर का मतलब होता है इंतहाई निगहदाश्त, न्यूरोलॉजी होता है आसामी. एज ए यंग प्रोफेशनल, एक नौजवान पेशेवर के तौर पर, प्रोफेशनल होता है पेशेवर. आई विश्ड टू सेव द वर्ल्ड, मैं दुनिया को बचाने की ख्वाहिश करती थी. I was excited to see the patients making quick recoveries from devastating accidents. मैं तबाह बर्बाद कर देने वाले हादसात से मरीजों को जल्द सेहतियाब होते देखकर पुरजोश हो जाती थी. Devastating का मतलब होता है तबाह बर्बाद कर देने वाला. Yet, taham, I was pained to nurse those who were stuck with acute neurological disorder. इन मरीजों की तीमारदारी करते हुए मुझे दुख होता जिनको शदीद मुतासिर करने वाली अस्बी चोटें आती थी। एक्यूट का मतलब होता है शदीद, डिसऑर्डर होता है खराबी हो जाना, कोई बीमारी। There is a question, what is an ICU in a hospital? And the answer is ICU stands for Intensive Care Unit. The people who are very seriously ill or injured are cured and treated in this unit of the hospital. Paragraph 2. One day, standing at the bedside of a young patient, I wondered if she could make the same recovery like others. एक दिन एक नौजवान मरीज के पास खड़े हुए मैंने सोचा कि क्या वो दूसरे मरीजों की तरह सेहतियाब हो सकेगी। Hira had received severe head and spinal injuries as she was hit by a speeding bus while crossing a busy road. हिरा को सर और रीढ़ की हड्डी में शदीद जख्म आए थे जब वो एक मसरूफ सड़क को अबूर कर रही थी। एक तेज रफ्तार बस ने उसे टक्कर मारी थी। स्पाइनल होता है रीढ़ की हड्डी से मुतालिक। ओके, I took her lifeless arms in my hands and tried to do several exercises on her, but in vain. मैंने उसके बेजान बाजुओं को अपने हाथों में लिया और इस पर बहुत सी वर्जिशें आजमाई, लेकिन वो बेफायदा रही। इन वेन का मतलब होता है बेटा बेफायदा होना। Also, I asked her younger sister to come and talk to her, thinking that the voice of a near and dear one might activate the nearly dead neurons. इसके अलावा मैंने इसकी छोटी बहन को भी बुलाया कि वो आए और उससे बातें करे, ये सोचते हुए कि हो सकता है कि एक करीबी अजीज की आवाज़ तकरीबन मुर्दा अस्बी खुलियों में हरकत पैदा कर दे। नियर एंड डियर वन होता है करीबी अजीज। एक्टिवेट का मतलब होता है हरकत पैदा करना। नियरली तकरीबन, डेड न्यूरॉन्स मुर्दा अस्बी खुलिये। शी कुड सी वो देख सकती थी बट नॉट टॉक, लेकिन बात नहीं कर सकती थी। Her eyes showed a certain helplessness. उसकी आंखों में खास बेबसी नजर आती थी। Certain होता है खास, helplessness होता है बेबसी। I could read her mind through her eyes. मैं उसकी आंखों से उसका दिमाग पढ़ सकती थी। Perhaps, शायद, she wanted to say, वो कहना चाहती थी, Please help me. मेहरबानी करके मेरी मदद करो। Okay, there is a question. To what extent does the recovery of a patient depend upon the doctor and the nurse? And the answer is, the recovery of a patient depends upon the doctor and the nurse to a large extent. If the doctors and the nurse give continuous attention even to a hopeless patient, he or she may recover. Paragraph 3. A fellow nurse came near me and asked. एक साथी नर्स मेरे करीब आई और उसने पूछा, राहीला, what are you doing? Fighting a lost battle? कि राहीला, तुम क्या कर रही हो? Fighting a lost battle एक मुहावरा है बेटा, जिसके मानी है ऐसे काम के लिए कोशिश करना जिसमें कामयाबी की उम्मीद ना होने के बराबर हो। एक साथी नर्स मेरे करीब आई और पूछा, राहीला, तुम क्या कर रही हो? क्या ऐसे काम के लिए कोशिश कर रही हो जिसमें कामयाबी की उम्मीद ना होने के बराबर है? I was shocked at first to hear a colleague making a hopeless comment. पहले तो मुझे अपने साथी के इस बेबसी वाले तबसरे पर बहुत सदमा हुआ. Then I replied. फिर मैंने जवाब दिया. I'm trying to make her brain process by her sister's voice. फिर मैंने जवाब दिया, मैं उसकी बहन की आवाज़ के ज़रिए उसके दिमाग को फ़ाल बनाने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. Also, I am doing my best to ensure that her arms and legs get proper exercise. This might help her walk like a normal person. और मैं अपनी पूरी कोशिश भी कर रही हूँ कि मैं इस बात को यकीनी बनाऊँ कि इसके बाजू और टांगों की मुनासिब वर्जिश हो. शायद इससे वो आम आदमी की तरह चल सके. Meanwhile, इसी दौरान a senior doctor on duty walked in. ड्यूटी पर मौजूद एक सीनियर डॉक्टर अंदर आया. He gave me an ironic smile and said, वो तंजन मुझ पर मुस्कुराया और कहा. आयरॉनिक मीन्स तंजन, तंज से मुस्कुराना. वो तंज से मुस्कुराया और कहा, if you spend most of your duty hours on one patient, we will have to recruit more nurses to attend the other patients. अगर तुम अपनी ड्यूटी का ज़्यादातर वक्त एक ही मरीज़ा पर सर्व करोगी तो फिर हमें दूसरे मरीजों की तीमारदारी के लिए ज़्यादा नर्सों को भर्ती करना पड़ेगा. Please go and see the other patients. We do not have much hope for her. I don't think that she can ever walk again. मेहरबानी करके जाओ और दूसरे मरीजों को देखो. हमें इसकी सेहतियाबी की ज़्यादा उम्मीद नहीं है और मेरा नहीं ख्याल कि वो कभी दोबारा चल सकेगी. Come to the next paragraph, paragraph 4. I was upset. मैं परेशान थी. The advice to leave the patient unattended did not seem right. मरीज़ा को बगैर देखभाल के छोड़ देने का मशवरा ठीक नहीं लग रहा था. I knew that she had suffered from major neural damage. मैं जानती थी कि इसे बहुत बड़ा आसाबी नुकसान बर्दाश्त करना पड़ा था. But she needed to be given a chance. मगर इसको एक मौका देने की ज़रूरत थी. An inner voice somewhere within me spoke, try once for her. मेरे अंदर कहीं से एक आवाज ने कहा, एक दफा इसके लिए कोशिश करो. There is a question. What do you infer about her professional skills from the expression try once for her? And the answer is she had all confidence in herself that she could make the patient recover and was not in favor of leaving the patient unattended. Okay. Next, paragraph 5. I went to the senior nurse and told her that I wanted to help this patient and work with her more closely. मैं सीनियर नर्स के पास गई और उसको बताया कि मैं इस मरीज़ की मदद करना चाहती हूँ और इसके साथ और ज़्यादा करीब से काम करना चाहती हूँ। The senior nurse looked at me with utter surprise and remarked, सीनियर नर्स ने मेरी तरफ हैरानी से देखा और उसने कहा that she had orders from the doctor in charge to shift her to the general ward, कि उसको निगरान डॉक्टर की तरफ से ये ऑर्डर्स दिए गए हैं कि उस मरीज को जनरल वार्ड में शिफ्ट कर दिया जाए। The doctors thought, डॉक्टरों का ख्याल था that she was a hopeless case, कि वो ठीक नहीं हो सकती, and the bed must be spared for other patients, और जो बिस्तर है उसको दूसरे मरीजों के लिए खाली कर देना चाहिए। I was shocked to hear this. ये सुन के मुझे बहुत सदमा हुआ। The patient's family also requested me to help them fight the case. मरीजा के खानदान ने भी मुझसे दरख्वास्त की कि मैं उनकी बीमारी के खिलाफ जद्दोजहद करने में इनकी मदद करूं। Something needed to be done. कुछ करने की ज़रूरत थी। I could not leave my patient fighting a lost battle on her own. मैं अपनी मरीज़ा को खुद ऐसी कोशिश करने के लिए जिसमें कामयाबी की बहुत कम उम्मीद थी, तन्हा नहीं छोड़ सकती थी। I made up my mind to risk my career and help the patient. मैंने अपने करियर को खतरे में डालने और मरीज़ा की मदद करने का इरादा कर लिया। I requested the senior doctors to allow me attend this young helpless patient. मैंने सीनियर डॉक्टर से दरख्वास्त की कि मुझे इस नौजवान नाकाबिले इलाज मरीज़ा की देखभाल करने की इजाज़त दें। Somehow, किसी तरह, I was able to make the patient stay in the ICU. मैं इस काबिल हो गई कि मरीज़ा को ICU में रख सकूं। Okay, there is a question. Identify kinds of nouns used in the text. The answer is common noun, proper noun, and abstract noun have been used in the text. Okay, that is your lesson. Now homework. You have to learn the translation of these 5 paragraphs. Okay, and also learn a letter number 8. Write a letter to your friend requesting her to spend her spring holidays with you. And learn Urdu to English translation exercises 6 and 7. Okay, you can take help from your grammar book, Pilot 7 Grammar and Composition. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.